So students, today we will study our first chapter, that is motion. So what is motion? The motion of an object is perceived when its position changes with respect to some stationary object, and that stationary object is known as a reference point. So students, let me clear you that a state of rest and motion are completely relative terms. They are not absolute terms. So in order to classify the state of rest or motion of an object, we need a reference point. So basically now this pen is at a rest because it is not changing its position with respect to me. Now I am acting as a reference point, and now the pen has started to change its position with respect to me, and the pen is said to be in motion. Another example, if you are sitting in a train, then you will be at rest with respect to another person who is sitting in front of you, because you are not changing your position with respect to the person which is sitting in front of you. But if a person which is standing at the platform sees you through the window, he'll say that you are moving with respect to him as the train is moving with respect to that person or platform, because the train is continuously changing its position with respect to platform. So that's why you and your friend which is sitting in front of you are in a state of motion. One more example, your house is at rest with respect to your neighbor's house. But if a person from the space sees Earth, he'll observe that your as well as your neighbor's house is continuously in a state of motion, as Earth is revolving around the sun. So everything on Earth is in a state of motion. So state of rest and motion are completely relative terms. Got it? We can't specify the state of rest or motion without a reference point. Now our next topic is distance and displacement. So basically the distance traveled by an object is the length of the actual path traversed by the object during motion. For example, if object starts from point O and travels to point C and covers a distance of 100 meter and again came to point A, then the total length covered by the object will be 100 plus 60, that is 160 meter. The total distance will be 160 meter. Now the next topic is displacement. The displacement of an object in motion is the shortest distance between the initial and final position of the object. For example, in the previous example, object has started from point O and goes to point C and again came to point A. So the shortest distance between the initial and final position is that distance, and it is equal to 40 meter. So the displacement will be equal to 40 meter, not 160, because it is the shortest distance between initial and final position. That's why displacement will be equal to 40 meter. Another example, if object starts from point O and goes to point A and again goes to point B and then C, D, E and F and covers a distance equal to 240 meter, because 40 plus 25 plus 30 plus 45 plus 50 will be equal to 240 meter. But the shortest distance between the initial and final position will be that distance, and it is equal to 10 meter. So displacement in that case will be equal to 10 meter, but the total distance covered by the object will be equal to 40 plus 25 plus 50 plus 30 plus 45 plus 50, and it will be equal to 240 meter. So that's the difference between distance and displacement. Now we will study here two terms, scalars and vectors. First of all, scalars are the quantities which have only magnitude. They have a certain value, for example length, mass, speed, work, etc. Okay. Now the vectors on the other hand are the quantities which have both magnitude as well as a direction, for example force, displacement, velocity, etc. So displacement is a vector quantity, and on the other hand distance is a scalar quantity, because distance has only value, certain value, not any direction. So distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is a vector quantity. You will learn about scalars and vectors in the coming chapters in detail. So That's all for today. I hope all of you have understand well. Stay safe and healthy.